At Alder Children's Hospital, 13-year-old David Leonard is waiting to have steroid injections. David has severe chronic juvenile arthritis, which stiffens all the joints in his body.
You can't even squeeze toothpaste out of the tube. You have to squeeze the toothpaste for him to brush his teeth. He can't do anything with his hands. He can't play out, he can't use this. So he's left sitting in front of the TV. That's the only thing he can do. And it's sad to see.
I'd rather have my legs really sore than my hands, because with my legs being sore, at least I can sit down and do things like read and all that. With my hands being bad, I can't really do anything.
Today's injections should help all of David's joints, but his left ankle is so badly affected, doctors have decided the only option is to operate.
What we hope is the injections now will take the swelling down in his knees and his wrists, so he'll have better movement, and then the ankle operation will take the pain away from his ankle. It'll all be fixed, he'll have a limp, he'll move a lot better.
When I first caught what I've got, my ankle was really bad, but I didn't give it a thought then. And it started to crunch about a year ago, something like that. You know, crunch really loud. And then I had a scan in September last year, and I found out that it was the cartilage had worn away. Every step that I take, it wears away a little bit more, sort of thing. So, trying to keep me off my feet as much as possible.
He hates having to rely on us so much as well, you know, just to get around. And
that's what this is all aimed at. It's all part of a process to get him moving better, to get him basically to be a normal 13-year-old again.
The steroids are injected directly into the joints. The procedure can be painful, so David will be anaesthetized.
Right, so we're just going to make you sleepy now.
Night night.
Surgeon Nazir Khan will give the injections.
Basically, we'll be injecting both knees and both wrists, as he has chronic juvenile arthritis. So hopefully that will give at least relief of pain, and mobility-wise, we'll be able to move.
The steroids offer David relief from the pain and stiffness by reducing the inflammation and the lining of the joint. But the results may only be temporary.
It will be a bit more painful initially for 24 to 48 hours, and after that, it will start having effect. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
That's the end of procedure. Thank you.
David's operation next week will be a lifelong solution to the pain in his left ankle. Surgeons will permanently fuse the bones.
It's a terrible decision to have to make. You know, we're dealing with the rest of David's life, and if it takes him out of pain, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with it.
We know now that there's no other step forward. I mean, you know, this is the best thing for him. It's the next step forward.
Two days later, David returns to Alder. He's already feeling the benefit of the steroid injections.
My knees and my wrists, they're a lot better. I wake up in the mornings, you know, with my hands and all that, which before I couldn't do. I couldn't do till about lunchtime or something. And my knees are a lot better because it's used to tighten up, but they don't now. They just move freely. So the only problem now is my ankle, which is great because we're getting that sorted soon.
Before David's ankle operation can go ahead, the movements of his joints need to be analysed.
Because David had a lot of pain in his foot, his body was supporting it by, he was starting to lean over, he was hunching over, his spine was starting to curve, because his body was compensating for the pain by putting the weight on his other joints, and we were concerned about it. We told the specialist about it. So we got in touch with the Gait laboratory, and we want to connect him up to the machine and see how his joints are supporting his leg, or his ankle basically.
Well, I know as I'm just going in, getting sticky things stuck on me and coming out.
This assessment will help surgeons decide how to permanently fuse David's ankle bones so he'll be able to walk without pain.
You can move now, that's perfect, very good. How does it feel? It's okay? Nothing is too tight? Good.
The sensors on David's body and the computerized equipment gather information which will be studied before the operation goes ahead.
So is the computer assessing how he's walking?
It tells us exactly where those points are, but we'll have to look at the results afterwards. Right, that's the end of it really. Now in the afternoon I'll go through the results and I'll see Mr. Walsh on Friday, and then we'll come up with some suggestions of what's the best really for you. It's difficult to say anything now. There's loads of information here which we have to go through, and we'll know more about that after that. Okay, we'll get back to you about the findings. You were a great subject, thanks very much.
David will return next week for his operation. Orthopedic surgeon John Walsh will operate on David.
Have a look at your ankle, please. Is that all right?
First he examines the joints.
Quite swollen, isn't it?
It's been like that for ages.
Yeah. And you've had injections in the ankle as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, you understand what we're going to do today?
Sort of.
Right. Well, this ankle's quite arthritic. The surfaces are very worn, very irregular, and it's not in a good position either. And so when you're walking, it's putting a lot of stress not only on your ankle and causing the pain, it's also putting quite a lot of stress on that knee. I knew you in the Gait lab the other day, and I saw the results, and it shows that this knee is really taking an awful lot of stress. So the idea is to put the surfaces of the joint in a position where they're better for the whole leg, but also take what movement you have away so that it's stiffened, but that will help to relieve the pain. If it carries on as it is, it's just going to carry on being painful, and I think it's going to create more problems for the joints.
What were you looking at the end? Just a stiff foot, or?
Well, aim for a pain-free foot, much more comfortable, and because it will feel more comfortable, you'll take some of the stress off the other joints. All right?
Thank you.
See you later then.
Bye-bye. This operation now is not a child's operation, it's an adult's operation. Because of the severity of his ankle, they have to do this operation.
I used to go and play in the park with my dad, you know, kicking the ball at the back of the goal sort of thing. But I can't do that anymore now. And hopefully, having my ankle fixed and all that, I'll be able to do that again, because I love my football.
This is David's x-ray, and this is his ankle joint, and it's virtually completely destroyed by the arthritic process. The edge of the bone is very ragged. The idea of the operation is to remove the surfaces of the joint and to fill that with bone graft, and then to hold it with some screws in the corrective position. It's a commonly done operation in adults. We do it quite frequently in adults, but in children it's very unusual to have to do it. In fact, it's the only second time I've had to do it in a child.
The bone's quite soft, really. Usually a reflection sometimes of the amount of inactivity the kids have because they're in so much pain. So basically take off the old surface of the joint. Right, so there's now like a box of exposed raw bone which has formed the former joint. So what we're going to do is pack bone across that and then fix it with a couple of screws. So can we take the bone graft next, please?
When he comes back, he's helpless. You know, he's out for the count, plastered on, drip up, and then you realise just what he is going through. I think it brings it home more, the fact that, you know, he's as sick as he is.
Up in theatre, the bone graft has been taken from David's hip and is being placed inside his ankle.
So we've got the gap we created is now filled with a mushy bone graft which has got all the natural substances needed to get bones to join. And here's the lower tibia and there's the ankle bone itself. So we're going to actually pass two screws, one from there,
into that ankle bone, and with help of X-ray we'll see if we're in the right spot. Good one there, don't we? So these screws now go across the joint, through the bone graft, hold it in position, and grip the other bone. You can see there's no movement there at all now. That's very good. It's a good bite too. You can see those screws crossing the ankle joint. Okay, good, thank you very much. He's going to have 6 or perhaps 8 weeks or even more in plaster now till the thing joins, so he probably won't notice the benefit of it until he gets free of his plaster and gets back on his feet.
While David comes round, an epidural will help him cope with the pain.
Okay.
At the end of his theatre day, John comes to see how David's recovering from the operation.
Well, everything went very well. Did everything we wanted to, and we'll get some more X-rays tomorrow. And if they're okay, we'll complete your plaster and get you sitting out of bed as soon as your epidural comes down. Okay. All right. See you in the morning. Bye.
Thank God it's over with.
It's a great weight. It's a great weight lifted off our shoulders now. It's done. We can relax now. I know we've made the right decision in having the operation. And I'm glad it's done. And Dr. Walsh said he's straightened his foot out and he's fixed his foot up, so just got to set a goal now of a few months to be out moving again, out playing football, kicking the ball around to a point, but a lot better than he has been. And then it'll all be worthwhile then, and that's what we want.
David's next milestone will be in 6 weeks when the plaster comes off. Six weeks after the operation to fuse David's ankle joint, he's returned, hoping the plaster might come off permanently.
Hey David, do you want to come in, mate? Come on, Skippy, up here. Okay, so you remember it, don't you? You can't cut yet, just makes a lot of noise. You ready? Falling asleep there? So what did the doctor say? Hopefully leaving her off this time?
Yeah, hopefully.
Was he pretty pleased with it last time?
Don't come in here crying if you have to have back on. It's not my fault, right? Blame the doctors.
The moment of truth.
You ready, David?
There you go, son.
So straight to X-ray.
Shove it to the
Bring your X-ray back to us, because I've brought your case notes in and I'll get you taken in there to see the orthopaedic.
Right, David, we've got to take a picture of your ankle, okay? So we need to get you on this table. Stand on your good leg.
That's not a good leg.
Hasn't he got a good leg? Oh, there's nothing down for you then, is there? Let's just have your feet up here. There we go. Good lad. Okay, brilliant. Okay.
Orthopaedic surgeon Simon Brown will decide if the plaster can stay off.
Hello, sir. How are you? So you've been for X-ray today?
Yeah.
On the board.
Simon needs to check if the bones have fused well enough to hold the ankle joint in place.
That looks very good. Looks in a good position. But I think probably it's still a little bit early for that to be free. Right, who's having the bet with who?
My dad was looking forward to it being off.
Bit of a blow for you, is it? I think we could go into a walking cast.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
So at least he's
So you
got
can
a
put
bit
some weight
of
through it,
weight
yes.
yeah.
It's just purely protective.
give them a bit of confidence actually
Yeah.
walking on it as well.
Well,
while
that's-
it's
So I think
that's a good
that's
one.
probably another. It's a good half.
Good halfway house there.
It's a good
Yeah.
compromise.
Yeah.
Is it safer to put weight on with the plaster on?
It is undoubtedly safer to put weight with the plaster on, yeah. And I think secondly, it holds a nice position as well until things are set satisfactorily. And obviously we've got the foot into the position that we'd like it to be, and obviously wanted to stay there. And it would be a bit of a shame if it drifted from that position now.
So you want us to put a bit of weight on, but don't go mad?
As in make him walk up the stairs.
Well, obviously we don't want you jumping or anything like that. But
we can shuffle around the house.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay.
I don't like you now.
Something's never changed there.
David will return in 2 weeks for another checkup.
It's like a little pollution tumour, isn't it?
yeah, if there's a leg cell in there, not just cotton wool. There we go, we have a leg. A small one.
So long little leg.
Hello David, how are you?
Not bad.
How's your ankle feel?
It's a bit numb in there.
Is it? Right, do you want to, and it's just coming up to 8 weeks now, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, do you want to shuffle your leg over there? That's great. Right, can you just lift your leg out gently, very gently. Well done. Put that to one side. Your skin's okay. Does it feel funny when I touch it there? Right, what about this part of your foot?
Ticklish.
Sorry about that. Are you okay on the outside there? Yes?
Yeah.
Bloody wounds are okay, aren't they? Right, let's have a look at your ankle. Can you move it for me yourself? Just move your foot about. Pull your foot up. Right, that movement's taking place at another joint. Your ankle joint's in here, and it feels pretty good actually. Right, these are your x-rays. And compare these. There's much more healing taking place at the back here, and the bone appears to be joining across. Now it's 8 weeks since your operation. I think we can leave you out of plaster. Okay, but you've got to take it easy. I don't want you to go mad on it. We'll just put a support bandage on it, and you can put your weight gently to the ground. Okay. And we'll take it from there.
Great.
Okay, good. Great. Thanks a lot.
Can I put my sock on?
Yeah, no, take it off first.
Did you remember to bring your sock?
Yeah, of course, it's
Don't
special.
forget the sock.
We bought that special.
That's good. Right, so I'll get an appointment made on the way out.
Yeah.
Okay, David?
Yep.
Right.
Come lad. You alright?
With the plaster off, David shouldn't have any further problems with his ankle.
Took it off of me.
It's now 2 months since the operation, and David's arthritis has flared up again in his other joints. Walking is painful, and he's back in his wheelchair.
We made the right decision with his ankle. He can walk on it now with no pain. He doesn't cry out when he walks on it. It's irritating for David because he's gone through that with his ankle, and now his knees are playing up. So he's struggling with his knees now. It's not fair on him. It's just not fair for him.
It's a pain because I've had my ankle fixed and it moves around and makes all my other joints twice as bad. So we get my other joints fixed and moves around somewhere else. It's running away sort of thing.
As a last resort, David has been put on cyclosporin, a drug new in the treatment of childhood arthritis.
Okay, well.
Okay, well done. Right, so where you go next? Physio?
Harder.
There you go. Thank you. All right. All done.
We've just took some blood to check that the level of drug in his body is at the right level.
What worries us what if this doesn't work? There's really no more. There's nothing else he can do.
It's like the ultimate sort of thing. If this doesn't work, I haven't a clue what they'll do.
While the drug is given time to work, David's getting relief from pain with daily sessions in the hydrotherapy pool.
Okay, toes right up towards you. Point all your toes. Toes right down.
Because he's in an acute flare-up, we're trying to keep his joint ranges. So we're trying to make sure that he doesn't lose any of the movement in his knees and his wrists, which are particularly painful at the moment.
The drug is experimental, so the next few weeks will be crucial in discovering whether or not he can be helped.
David, do you want to come in? You're walking in? Oh, well done.
David has returned to see rheumatologist John Sills, who's monitoring his progress. David's been on the new drug for 4 weeks.
He got himself up this morning, got himself dressed, and he was up and out of bed and dressed, which is unusual.
Can you slip your sweater off?
Yeah, sure. With pleasure.
Great. Now that's quite interesting, because I mean I think he was so stiff and sore that he couldn't have done that. Let's have a look. So there isn't a great deal of movement.
There's more than there was, though.
Yeah, and it's certainly much less painful.
I've got to admit, it is easier to do this and that exercise in hydro.
Yeah.
Under the water and
that's beginning to move a bit better, because they were absolutely solid, weren't they? Yeah. Just turn your hand over and make a fist for me. You still can't quite get the wrists over. Okay, can we have a look at your knees on the bench? All right.
David is the first child at the hospital to be put on cyclosporin for the treatment of arthritis.
Yes. But that knee's getting, I mean, although it's quite swollen, it's actually
much
straighter, isn't it? Big toes don't perhaps come quite as far back as we would wish, but it's moving. Okay, right, well done. Can you get back to your feet? I'm very pleased with the way that he's responded to the cyclosporin, the new drug. I think everybody accepted when we started it was a bit of a gamble, and I don't think that I anticipated that he would actually have done so well so quickly, to be quite honest with you.
The decision on his ankle was a good one.
Yes.
In the end.
best decision that we've ever made, really.
Right, good, okay. Right, well done.
Next year?
Yes. We know that the surgery to the left ankle has been quite successful, and that the left ankle is now no longer a problem. But he has a lot of problems with all his other joints, and he's generally been feeling miserable because of the extent of the inflammation. So our hopes for the drug are that the remainder of the joints will become improved. He will feel better, he'll be able to be more mobile, he'll be able to get back to school, the quality of life of the family will improve.
It's the first time he's been moving well for a long time. It really is. It's nice to see him moving without pain and getting around.
And hopefully you won't need this for much longer.
I want to kick a football, play football with my friend again in the yard and that. Because last time I played football was months.
If the medication continues to improve David's mobility, he'll soon be able to enjoy the full benefits of the operation on his ankle.